Are you downsizing? Maybe need more room because of additions to the family, or possibly seeking that dream home you've always wanted? Well, Tim Eisner at Royal LePage Atlantic is the guy for you. With a proven track record and multiple awards, Tim goes above and beyond to find out your needs and exactly what you're looking for. So if you're seeking a new home or trying to sell your current one, contact Tim at 902-499-5717 or check him out on Facebook at Tim Eisner. Again, that's 902-499-5717. Trust me, when all is said and done, we'll be saying Tim Eisner strikes again. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope y'all had a fantastic weekend. Welcome to episode 82 of Outside the Chute. I'm your host, Randy Frame. This week's OTC Player of the Week comes to us from California as Sofia Savarella takes home the weekly honors. Sofia hit .688 with 3 doubles, a triple, home runs, 7 RBIs, and 9 runs scored as she competed with the OC Batbusters RSM squad at the PCFL qualifier for the Alliance Nationals last weekend in Arizona. Great job, Sofia, and congrats on qualifying for Nationals. On to this week's guest, and we sat down and chatted with University of Texas A&amp Corpus Christi alum and the all-time career wins leader in National Pro Fastpitch League history, Sarah Pauly. Sarah's had an absolutely amazing career. She set every conceivable pitching record in Texas A&M Corpus Christi school history during her 4 years there, while also becoming an All-American. From there, she went on to an incredible pro career that saw her win 2 league championships, be named to 8 All-Pro NPF Teams, winner of the 2006 Most Outstanding Pitcher Award, and as mentioned earlier, she went on to win the most games in NPF history. Sarah also went on to play overseas in Japan, Italy, New Zealand, and Australia, where she would also see great success. Sarah and her dad Rick, who was a former great men's fast pitch player that played for the well-known farm team based out of Wisconsin, currently run Pauly Girl Fast Pitch High Performance Pitching, where they run clinics all over the U.S. You can check them out at paulygirlfastpitch.com. We're going to talk to Sarah about getting her start in the game, the journey to Texas A&M Corpus Christi, all of her travel stories from her years of playing pro, and of course, Pauly Girl Fast Pitch. Sarah was such a pleasure to sit down and chat with, and it was awesome to hear about her journey in our great game. With that being said, grab that drink, sit back, relax, cause here we go.
I got the world in my palm, like camera action, it's on. I can't describe what I'm feeling, ain't never felt this freedom. I got the world in my palm, like camera action, it's on. Ain't never felt this freedom. Could you say that anything goes, anything goes, anything goes, anything goes, anything goes, anything goes. You want it only real deal hip hop.
All right, here we go. Sarah, thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How are things going down in Texas today? I understand you're on the road.
I am on the road. Things are good. The past couple weeks, I've been traveling a lot, doing clinics with Pauly Girl Fast Pitch, which is the pitching business that my father and I have, and it seems like it never ends, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I think it just seems like a lot because I am usually prepping for a season right now, or I have already left for Japan at this point. So I'm never able to actually do the clinics with him.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna save Pauly Girl to the end, but you know what? You brought it up. Let's talk about now. How did that all start anyway?
It just kind of evolved. It was just something that we started doing together. Small little clinics here and there, and it evolved into traveling around the U.S., putting on pitching clinics for people who had big travel ball organizations, didn't necessarily have a pitching coach in their area, and would bring us in to teach our method. And it just kind of kept growing from there. My dad obviously is extremely passionate about softball, maybe more than me.
Yeah. Now he used to play for the farm, didn't he? Back in the day.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loves to teach. And so we just kind of turned the clinic thing into more of a full-time thing with our online university, and started putting classes and videos together. And yeah, here we are. We have an online university that teaches coaches or parents how to teach proper and safe and efficient pitching mechanics. And we usually, when we go to a different city to do a pitching clinic, on a Friday night, we do a coach's clinic. We go over pretty much the gist of what we teach in our online university.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday, so that's Friday night, and then Saturdays we do two different clinics, a beginner's clinic and an advanced clinic. And most of the time, the parents that are there on the Friday night have kids in the clinic on Saturday. So they're getting a double dose of knowledge, and so far has been very beneficial, just from the feedback that we've received and the outcomes, I guess you'd say. We continue to go back to some places, and just seeing the improvement from many of the girls who continue to come to the clinics every year is pretty impressive.
That must be great to see.
It is. It's fun because also, I'm in Texas and my dad's in Virginia. So we don't necessarily, besides going for the clinics, we don't necessarily teach people other than in those clinic states. So being able to see somebody year after year, it's like they're our student, but it's a long distance coaching relationship that we have.
Right.
With many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess doing it online, I guess with the pandemic and everything, I mean, you still get to do your thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the pandemic didn't really change much for us in that sense, because we had already been doing virtual lessons as well. So maybe we just ended up doing more of them.
Right.
That's the cool thing about technology,
Oh yeah.
even if there's a pandemic, I mean, you can still do it, even if there isn't a pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Look at like we're doing this podcast right now. Technology.
Exactly. Yep.
It's crazy. So, so you guys, would you travel all over the US, or do you go to Canada at all, or what?
I come to Canada, but not under Pauly Girl Fastpitch. I just come on my own.
Okay.
I've been 2 years in a row, but then COVID kind of messed everything up.
Yeah.
And then the borders were closed the next time. But Joni Fry with Beyond the White Lines has a huge clinic or camp. It's a softball camp. It's for she does a 3-day weekend, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I want to say it's called Victoria's Island. I might be wrong about that.
Victoria in BC?
Yes, in Canada.
Yep.
And then right after that weekend, we stay for the next week and have the softball camp for the entire week in Sycamoose.
Okay, nice.
And I've done that 2 times, 2 summers in a row. That's the gist of me getting to Canada, but it's been pretty fun. Also, I have a teammate that lives in Canada. So whenever I would go up, a teammate from college, anytime I would go there for the Beyond the White Lines clinics and camps, I would have an opportunity to have some private lessons with some of my ex-teammates' students up there.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Jeez, that works out pretty well for you then.
It does.
Yeah.
And the private lessons, we also do those whenever we go in for clinics in the States. So prior to the coaches clinic on Friday night, we come in early Friday, and maybe 2 or 3, sometimes 4 hours before we even start the coaches clinic, we have private lessons with elite level pitchers, some who are in college, who are on a break, some who might live in the area but aren't available to go to the clinic the next day. So we definitely provide a ton of opportunities for everybody who wants to pitch.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if any athletes are listening, I mean, where would they go to, like, sign up or anything?
Yeah, it would just be based on where we are that weekend for a clinic. So the next weekend we go to Kentucky, and they would just sign up with whoever is putting the tournament on, or whoever's in charge of putting the clinic on.
Oh, okay.
Because we just somebody else organizes all of that, and we fly in, teach, and then coach, and then we leave.
Okay, right on.
At the end of the weekend. So
good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we have a little thing. We're 10 minutes in already, but we have a little thing like we like to kick the podcast off with, kind of break the ice. But I mean, we've already been talking for 10 minutes. But anyway, it's all good. We call it quick pitches. I'm going to throw some random questions to you, and they're pretty random.
Okay.
And you answer them as best you can.
Okay.
All right. First one.
Okay.
If you had to live off one food for a week, what is it?
Oh my God. Cereal.
Cereal. Okay. You like cereal?
I don't know. It was the first thing that came to my mind. I was thinking because you can have cereal in the morning, or you could have you can have cereal at any
That's
time
true.
of the day.
That is true. I mean, if you had to live off it for a week, I mean, that's a good call.
Yeah, because I would have said, like, if I could only have one dinner for the rest of my life, I'd maybe say pasta. But you can't eat. I mean, I guess you could eat pasta in the morning, but that's kind of weird.
True. Cereal's a good answer. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. If you could go back and play one game over again, which one is it?
Oh, shoot. One game over? Can I be cliche and say none?
Okay, yeah. I've had it said before.
Maybe my last game. I mean, it was a really great game, but I just want to be there with my teammates and in that atmosphere.
Yep.
And that was in Japan this past May.
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah. I say so. Didn't you end it with 3 strikeouts?
I did.
And that's impressive.
I know. And the crazy thing is, like, people know me as a rise ball pitcher, but I kind of had to, like, reinvent myself after playing in Japan for a while. So the last pitch of the game that was a strikeout swinging was on a changeup, and that was, like, huge for me.
Wow.
Because, it's not something that you would have guessed I would have thrown.
Well, no,
I think they were thinking I was going to throw a rise ball.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Biggest thing you miss at Texas A&M Corpus Christi?
Oh, biggest thing I miss. The friendships with all of the athletes.
Okay. It's a good one. Toughest hitter you had to face over your career?
Oh, Megan Wiggins.
Oh, yeah, that would be tough.
Yes, always. I think maybe I got her one time, and that was when we were in Japan. But every single time I faced her, I was always nervous. And, because she was such a good hitter, and you couldn't, there was not one pitch she couldn't hit. So you had to really be careful about how you threw to her, what you threw to her. If you were trying to be sneaky or tricky, she had already thought that that's what you were going to throw and would hit it anyways. Wow. I mean, there was no getting around her bat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm a pitcher as well, and I have so many hitters like that.
Shoot.
Anyway, if you could meet one person in the entire world, sit down and have a drink or meal, who is it?
It can be anybody.
It can be anybody.
I'd say my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come?
I just miss her. She passed away a little over a year ago, but she was always so funny and witty, and the things that she said was just, they were just so, it was always so funny, my dad is kind of the same way. Right. In a sense of I don't actually think he knows what he's saying some of the time. And it's really funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's hard to beat grandmothers. Really, it is. They're they're the best.
They are. I mean, she would always make us. This is so Midwestern, I think, but she would always. Whenever we'd go over, she'd always have a frozen pizza cooking in the oven for us, and Chips Ahoy cookies and Tab soda. I mean, I don't even know if people know what Tab is.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people listening are like, "What is Tab soda?"
Yeah, they're gonna go Google it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, that's hilarious. A few more here. Best concert you've ever attended?
This past summer, I went to ACL, Austin City Limits here in Texas. Mm-hmm. It's a huge festival. So does that count as a concert?
100%. Yes.
George Strait. Wow. Duran.
No way.
I swear to God, it was a huge mixture of everybody. So it was really cool.
I would say if you have George Strait and Duran there, that is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, this guy, he's Irish. His name's Dermot Kennedy. He's new and up and coming. I mean, I don't think he's that new, but not many people maybe know about him, but just a mixture of all those three music genres together, Yeah. You could literally just walk from one stage to the next and hear all of that different music. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being great, how are your karaoke skills?
Oh, no. Negative. I'm in the negatives.
Oh, are you?
I don't like doing that.
Okay. Well,
I can be, I hate standing on stage. I can talk about, I can talk like this on a podcast, or I can pitch in the middle of a circle, and that's fine. But if I'm on stage, and like, I don't know, the fear of like just being on stage, just, it gets to me.
Okay.
I could, and then having to sing, and you know, because I don't think I have a very great voice. So then having to sing and then like make fun of have everyone make fun of me. I don't know if I'm not a fan of karaoke.
Okay.
At all.
Good to know. All right. Last one. And I know this from looking at your Instagram. I know you've traveled a lot of places. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Ooh.
Tough one.
Italy.
Yeah.
Gotta be Italy, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, lots of cool places in Europe, but hands down Italy. Everything's so close. You can get from one city to the next on the train, and each city is completely different. Nice. So, yeah,
right on.
Definitely.
Oh, that's a good answer. I actually, looking at your picture, like seeing all the places you've gone to, I was like, the pictures of Italy, I was like, man, I would love to go to Italy so much. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Like the South is completely different from the North, you know, and I guess it kind of is like that here in the States as well, but it's just, I don't know. It seems so much better because it's Italy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's get into your career. I mean,
okay.
Tell us about how you got your start in the game. I'm guessing your father, Rick, played a big part in it.
Yep, he did. It's funny because whenever we go to clinics, people ask, when did you start pitching? And my dad says or whatever that I started pitching when I was 11. I think it was more like 12, but I remember him just saying, hey, I have an old glove, you know, let's grab the mitts and go throw in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And me not knowing really much about what he was talking about, just listened to him because he was my dad.
Yeah. And
we would do that after school. Whenever he'd get home from work, we would throw in the backyard. I was so awful. I literally would like throw the ball over the neighbor's fence, like way over his head. And he would, of course, lie to me and tell me that was the best rise ball he's ever seen.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Well, I remember one time, and I honestly think that we have this on VHS video.
Yeah. For all you youngins out there, right. You put that in a VCR. Right.
One of the times, I think my dog ran across while I was pitching, and I accidentally hit the dog, and my dad told me that was a really good drop ball. I mean, that's how it started.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It just kept evolving from then on. I don't ever really remember being any good until maybe I was like 16. I mean, back then you had to get like invited
right.
to try out for the elite travel ball teams in the area. So my dad had kind of put together this team that was kind of in our area with high school girls, so that he could build up the high school kids, and right. I would have an opportunity to pitch all the time so that I could try and get better. Mm-hmm. And we had a girl who was from the town across the freeway, but she was pretty good catcher, and so her and I worked together a lot. Maybe a year and a half. We got really good at being a pitcher catcher combo. And we both got invited to try out for this really good team in Arizona. The Little Saints, they're still around. Great organization. Can't say enough good things about them, but we made the team. And from that moment, my softball career took off. I think the team was serious in traveling. We lived in Arizona. We traveled almost every single weekend to California. We played in all the big tournaments. We beat some really good teams. And that's kind of when 16, 17, 18, things started to really take off. And, the recruiting was normal, not the early recruiting nowadays, but
well, I was going to ask if there was no posting videos on Twitter or getting recognized in the top 100 for extra innings or anything like that, right?
Yeah, no, none of that. And I don't even remember. I didn't even go to any college camps. Like kids these days, they go to like college camps to be seen, and I didn't do any of that. We handwrote the letters. It wasn't sending the coach emails. Mm-hmm. That just wasn't a thing. And you would get the handwritten letters back from them. And that was a really, really cool experience when I started getting, letters in the mail from universities and such.
Yeah. Well, it's so personal that way, right?
Yeah. And it just kind of, it came down to who showed me the most attention. And there was a university who was at all of my games, was sending me letters every single week. I mean, it was so cool. And I felt so wanted. Mm-hmm. And when I went on a visit, I fell in love with the area because it was on an island and close to the beach, and the softball field was right in the middle of campus, and you pretty much walked everywhere, palm trees everywhere, coming from Arizona and cactus and then going to Texas where palm trees and beach,
Yeah.
who wouldn't love that? Yeah. So I decided I wanted to play ball in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Well, I guess that answers my question for your decision to go there. I mean, palm trees and beaches and ball fields in the middle of campus. I mean, why wouldn't you?
I know. They also had one of the best marine biology programs in the nation, and that's essentially what I wanted to major in. Right. I ended up changing my major to psychology and graduating with a psych degree. Okay. But it was really fun. Mm. We might have not been the best softball school, but it was a great experience. And we accomplished quite a bit.
I'd say you did.
Wise.
Well, I mean, for a small. Now, actually, I got a question.
Small school.
Yeah. I got your first year there. You guys were on probationary status, weren't you? You guys weren't Division I.
Correct. We were not.
Why was that?
Because the university was switching to a Division I status.
Okay.
Yeah. So they weren't. They didn't have enough women's sports teams to be considered a Division I university.
Right.
And that last year, you apparently had to wait 3 years. That was the third year, which was my freshman year. Yep. And we ended up losing those coaches my freshman year, getting two really awesome coaches for my sophomore through senior year. who really changed the program, made believers out of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And since we were not in an actual conference, we were just an affiliate for 3 years. Only the softball program, an affiliate of the Big South.
Wow.
And the rest of the university was trying to figure out what conference they were going to get into as a whole.
Right. Now you guys were still playing. You guys were still playing like all the like you guys were still playing Texas, Oregon, all them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Still playing the big teams. Never stopped playing softball.
Now, I mean, your time, obviously it worked out really good for you there. I mean, you set every pitching record possible with the Islanders, and you still have them to this day. What are some of the memories that stick out to you, you know, from your time there?
Most of the things that stick out to me are the team, the girls, the coaches, the crazy conditioning workouts that we used to have. Oh my God, working out in the morning in the rain. We were a smaller university. It's not so small now, but
right.
We didn't have the big weight rooms that, a huge Division I university would have.
Yeah.
Our coaches really had to improvise with what we would do for workouts. And we didn't have our own strength coaches. Our softball coach, our assistant softball coach was actually our conditioning coach as well. So it was hard to separate hating him as a trainer and really liking him as a coach.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Yeah. And he came from, the military. So, I mean, he was really tough on us. And, I just remember those moments that probably, that they're not the like, oh, we won a championship moments, they're what made us into the potential to win those championships,
right.
Those moments. Of course, I loved that we won the Big South Conference 3 years in a row, and we made regionals. We were the first sports team from the university to make regionals. They didn't have super regionals back then, thank goodness.
Right. Yeah, really.
So we had the opportunity 3 years to do that. Just, the small little things.
Yeah.
I remember. This is going to sound extremely crazy because I think only the players, maybe some of the people who actually worked at the university would actually know. But since we were in Texas and all of the schools in our conference were on the East Coast, we literally would bus to Winthrop University, which is in Rock Hill, South Carolina, the week of spring break, and we would play all of the conference teams in that 1 week. We would play all of our games that 1 week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we were playing double headers of all of the different teams in our conference. Yes.
Holy cow.
Finally, my senior year, they flew us there. But we had to drive on the bus.
Oh my God, that's insane.
And it is insane. I mean, can you imagine pitching like majority of those games all in that 1 week?
My legs and back would be just annihilated.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was those moments like that. That's what I remember.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, we definitely bonded as a team in those moments for sure.
Oh, that's true. I mean, yeah, you get to go on a bus for that long. I mean,
yeah, 14 hours.
Yeah, you're definitely going to bond as a team for sure. Either that or you're going to kill each other.
Right. Well, I think we did a little bit of both, to be honest.
Oh, that's crazy. Actually,
I don't know how our coaches, oh man. I mean, after being a college coach myself later on in life, I just don't know how they handled us all in that 1 week of spring break. I mean, kudos to them.
Oh, 100%.
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. That would be, yeah, I couldn't even imagine as a coach having to do that.
Well, yeah. And nowadays, you know, a lot of different people travel with the team. You know, they have the trainer that travels, and they have the SID sometimes that travels, and they have more than 2 coaches. And we didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
We had our head coach and our assistant coach, and that was it, you know, and whenever we would go to those places, if we needed a trainer, we used the trainer that the other team brought.
Is that right? Wow. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yep.
Well, one of the things, like looking at your stats and everything from your time with Corpus Christi, one that impressed me, you know, was the 37 wins in your senior season. And I mean, that placed you 3rd in the nation behind, you know, 2 okay pitchers named Kat and Monica. Yep. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty impressive season. What?
Yeah. That was fun.
Oh, no doubt.
That was fun.
No doubt. How, like that senior season, I mean, it had to be tough. That last game against Texas had to be pretty emotional for you though.
I don't remember it being very emotional, but I do remember, I do remember thinking this is the last time I'm gonna play. I literally thought that it was going to be my last time playing, because I had no idea that I would continue playing professionally after college. I mean, that just wasn't a thing that we looked forward to, you know?
Right.
I had no idea that it really wasn't the last time I was going to play. So I don't really remember much, but I do remember, you know, thinking about, man, this is going to be the last time I actually play softball, you know?
Right. And of course it wouldn't. I mean, you go on to play with the Connecticut Breakettes before they even joined the NPF.
Correct.
How did that all come about?
John Stratton reached out to my dad, I believe.
Okay.
I don't really remember. But I do know that he reached out and said, you know, introduced himself. Hey, I've got this team here in Connecticut. We play ASA Women's Major Open, kind of like a 23 and under type thing. Do you think that Sarah would be interested in coming to pitch for us? And I knew who the Breakettes were. You know, like they were like the team that all of the legends have played for, you know,
right.
Lisa Fernandez and Dot Richardson, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Kat Osterman has played for them. I'm sure I'm missing a ton of them, but there were a ton of really good athletes that played for them. So the fact that they wanted me to go play for them was really cool in my book. Mm-hmm. And whenever I heard the logistics behind it, I was thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm going to go live in Connecticut for the summer. Like, that's so cool. I've never been there before. Yeah, it was fun. It was a summer. It was like college, but during the summer.
Right.
And no school.
And no school. Yeah, that's a bonus, right?
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. I loved that we ended up going pro the next year, because we had heard there was the NPF, and then there was the PFX, I think it was.
Okay.
PFX. There were two different leagues going on, and we heard, just through the rumorville from softball that the PFX was going to eventually merge into the NPF, and the NPF was going to be the league that you wanted to play in.
Right.
So when we found out that the Breakettes were going to move into the NPF, I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Like, I'm going to be like on the team.
Yeah.
So that was a quick and easy transition. We played so many games. I mean, we were traveling all the time, driving from place to place. We played all the time. We played Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes 2 games Sunday. I mean, it was a lot of softball.
Did you like the travel schedule?
I didn't know any better, so of course I did.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
But I've heard, like, some of the girls, it kind of wore on them, and
It does.
Yeah.
It does, and it did. Eventually, maybe like my 3rd year into the league, it started to get to be a lot, especially being a pitcher. I'm sure everybody else was feeling the same tiredness and just being overwhelmed with so many games and so many demands, I guess you'd say.
right.
It was very, very nice of them to change the game schedule about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years in. Must have been 6 years in, because I think, so I played 11 seasons in the NPF, and I want to say like at least half of the last ones, we didn't have that strenuous of a schedule.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
We did have double headers, which on like Sundays, double headers should just be illegal at our age.
I agree.
I mean, after playing the team already 3 times, and then having to do it again in 2 more weeks with another doubleheader, it's like, whoever came up with the doubleheader idea needs to throw that out the window.
Yeah.
Because those were really hard. And some of the days, if we were playing in Florida, or even some days when we were playing in Philly, it was hot during the summer.
No doubt.
So, I mean, I did not love softball on the doubleheader days.
I don't blame you. I can totally relate to you on that one. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty much how our league here right now. I'm 43 and still pitching, and
nice.
Right now, the team I play on, we only have me as a pitcher, and we have another one that can pitch, but you know what I mean? Like so there's double headers where I'm throwing both games, and
yeah,
it's pretty hard on the body right now.
No, thanks. Especially when you get later on in life.
Yes.
43. I mean, maybe you could have done that at 20.
Oh, easily.
Would you have enjoyed it? Maybe not so much, because 2 games in a day is a lot in general.
Yep.
But you get older, you get the wear on your arm. You just get more exhausted.
Yep, for sure. And I find that my arm doesn't, it's my legs and my back. I have no problem with my arm.
Wow. Yeah.
It's weird. which everybody asks me, how's your arm? How's your arm? It's fine.
Yeah.
It's the rest of my body.
Actually, it's still attached, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I felt that way as well at the end. It wasn't necessarily my arm. It was the small little muscles that hurt.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, oh, my neck is really killing me, but my arm is fine.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Sarah, I want to ask you about the first season in the NPF, 2006, when you guys switched over. I mean, you jumped in, most outstanding pitcher. I mean, stats speak for themselves. Safe to say that your confidence was growing pretty good at this point in your career?
Sure was.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't really know what to expect. I just did what I knew how to do, which was hit the spot, and let my teammates take care of all the rest.
Yeah.
I never thought that I would have been was it pitcher of the year?
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that would have been me. But then I maybe don't give myself enough credit for that season. But looking back, the seasons after that's when all of the other really good pitchers joined the league, and it was a competition for that title. So I maybe didn't give myself enough credit for it then. And after, seeing Monica win it year after year after year and Kat win it year after year, it's like, well, at one point I did win it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to be really, really good. So yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, you hold the record for career wins in the NPF. I mean, that's crazy. That's nothing. They can't take it away from you. So, I mean,
correct.
The fact that, you played with and against so many recognizable names, like Kat, like Monica, like Daniel Laurie. I mean,
yep.
It must have been, great to have such success playing alongside or against, names like that.
Yeah. And, I also think maybe I have the most wins because I was in the league the longest.
Hey, there's still wins.
There's still wins, but yeah. I was blessed with some great defense, put it that way.
Yeah.
Because obviously pitcher can't win all on their own, but there were some phenomenal plays behind me to help get me all of those wins that I accumulated.
Yeah, that's all. Hey, it's so much easier to pitch when you can look behind you and be like, oh well, I have this defense here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes a big
great
difference.
Hitting too. Yeah, because I only had one job and they had two jobs to worry about, hitting and defense. So I tried to take care of my job the best that I could and just let them figure out their tasks on their own, I guess you'd say.
Right. Now
I was a pretty chill player. If I would get upset later on, I think in my career, you couldn't really tell much.
Right.
If you knew me, you knew that I was upset, but you eventually couldn't really see it. And of course that came with time, growing and learning, the game and about yourself as a player and a person and who you want to be and how you want to be remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, as a pitcher, you kind of have to hold your emotions in check, I find. And I mean, I still have a tough time doing it. I mean, anybody can tell when I'm emotional out there because I start overthrowing, you know what I mean? Like, as a pitcher, you have to be able to hold your emotions in check.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little harder to do in Japan. And sometimes I didn't really care much about it because we both spoke different languages. So if I had something to say, the only person who really knew what I was saying was a possible foreigner teammate of mine or foreigners from the other team. And then it just starts to get funny at that point, you know?
Yeah.
You just start laughing. You get to a point where you just start laughing.
Yeah.
And there, I mean, because there's nothing really you can do about it.
No, anything. I mean, I've seen like Jordan Taylor. I've interviewed Jordan on here, and I've seen some of the videos she's posted about how small the strike zone is over there. Yep. True.
Very true. You can throw the ball right down the middle and it can be a ball.
That's crazy.
And multiple times. Yeah. Jordan had posted like a accumulation of pitches that she had thrown.
Oh, right? Yeah.
And they were all like either on the corner or down the middle. And the umpire, none of the umpires called them strikes. That is far too common.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Yep.
Man.
Yeah, and like I said, you just kind of laugh about it. But if you're new in Japan and that happens to you, it's kind of hard to not. It's kind of you don't laugh about it. You only start laughing about it when you've been there for a while and you really know, like, hey, this is going to keep happening. You know, because I remember my first time in Japan and I threw it down the middle and I got so frustrated when they didn't call it a strike. And the umpires kind of feed off of that. Like, oh, she just got mad because she thought it was supposed to be a strike. Well, next time she does that, I'm going to call it a ball again. I almost wonder if that's what they're thinking.
Wow. I was going to ask, there's got to be a reason for it. I'm pretty sure they're not doing it to Wayno.
No, they're not because she's Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. And I had kind of heard that whenever I first went over there that, hey, you know, like, even if you throw it down the middle and it should be a strike, because you're American, it's probably going to be a ball. But they want their players to succeed more than you to succeed. So that transition was difficult.
Oh, no doubt.
Because, like, why can't it just be equal? But, I mean, if everything was equal, then wouldn't the world be just a better place? And so, like, you think of, right?
Yep.
And so you think about what's going on in your own country, but then you realize the same thing is going on in another country, and you realize you guys aren't far behind.
No, that's true. Yeah, so true.
Yeah, it's different.
How'd you enjoy the culture over there?
I think in the beginning, I didn't know what to expect. I had a culture shock. Yeah. It was my first time, like, really out of the country. I was there the first half. So the first team I played on was Honda, and the first half of the season, the other foreigner ended up going home before I even returned because she was there when the earthquake tsunami happened in 2011.
Right.
So, yeah, they had sent like all of the Americans home. And I just so happened to come like a couple days after, and they didn't really send me back home. I just ended up staying there. And so that was difficult because I was there alone, and I was in a foreign country that, I didn't speak the same language, and making the transition. And it it was a growing period for me.
Right.
I had the opportunity to go back after that season was over, and I decided not to. And if I remember telling my parents a couple years, my number one regret, I wish I would have just sucked it up and gone back, because I really miss that culture, that way of softball, the way of life, just everything that softball was about in Japan. And I remember telling them, if I have another opportunity, I'm going to say yes, no matter what. And lo and behold, a couple years later, I got that other opportunity, and I didn't even ask any questions about who the team was, how much I was going to get paid, if I was going to have a place to stay. I just said yes, because I knew that I wanted to get back, and this was my chance. So
right on.
That time around, I really dove into everything I could, the culture, the food, the people, the language, traveling, just getting to know my teammates and their quaint, cute little personalities. And it was really, it was really great. It was such a cool experience. And eventually I left that team, and I left and I went to play ball in Italy, and I did New Zealand, and I did Australia in between those times. And then I got another opportunity to go back to play in Japan. And of course I said yes, because I remember how cool it was before. Yeah. And I also kind of, had an opportunity to play with a really good friend of mine who, we played in Italy together, Lisa Malden, and she had never been to Japan. And I thought that I could really help guide her, in a world that she was unfamiliar with. Right. And, she was on the team, and she kind of got me on the team, and it usually doesn't happen that way. I was usually the one helping her get on a team. So it was really cool that, we were both able to play again together. And she kind of returned the favor to me, because I helped her get on my team in Italy, and she helped me get back on this team in Japan. And, you know, it was something I had been thinking about, kind of finishing there, you know, and in my head, I was thinking, well, no better place to do it, and no better person to have as a teammate, because, we'd already been, you know, we had already played a season together in another country. We were pretty good friends at that point already, and we did it. We played one season together, then COVID hit, and we were in Japan when COVID was going on here in the States, and we just kept playing. It was odd to us that everyone was kind of on lockdown here, because we were not on lockdown for very long, maybe a week. Right. We were playing, and we ended up having the second half of our season, not the first, but the second half. Our team we were playing in the second division, and in order to get up to the first division, we had to win the league. And we won the league, and it was the most incredible experience
that's awesome
that I've had, and in Japan, I think. Yeah. And then we were both asked back, and you know, it was like our reward for winning, because we got to move up to the first division. And so then, you know, we played the first division last January. Yeah. And we had a really great season, and I played that first season, and then I got a really, really nice farewell from them. And our other pitcher, who's Australian, came in and finished the rest of that second half season.
Right
Ellen
on.
Roberts.
Right on.
So, yeah, it was all of my time in Japan was kind of like a roller coaster, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So many ups and downs.
That's life,
but
though.
nothing I wouldn't ever trade.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that is life. That is life. And I think that I would have gone through those same roller coasters if I was here in the States. It just something that I actually remember almost every detail of because I was in another country.
Yeah,
so
for sure. And I mean, like I said earlier, you finished your last inning with 3 strikeouts. I mean, what a way to go out. What a way to go out.
Would have never guessed that. So crazy. And a change up.
Yeah, and a change up. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Sarah, we have a little thing that we like to end the podcast with.
Okay.
I call it player association. I'm gonna throw out some names to you, and you can tell a story. You can say as much or as little about them as you want.
Okay.
All right. First one, Jennifer Golden.
Oh my God, Jennifer Golden. She was one of our catchers at A&M Corpus Christi. We used to call her Goldie. She was almost as tall as me.
Wow. And really?
Yes. Could you imagine? And she was lefty and she was a catcher.
Whoa.
And she was a wild child. I'm sure she has calmed down a lot, but maybe not that much.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
that's
my gosh. Hey. We actually call each other sisters because we're tall and blonde.
Okay.
And anytime we would be out and about and around other people we didn't know or who didn't really know us, we'd always just tell them, oh, yeah, we're sisters. And we had this story going for years. People just believed us.
Wow.
It's fun. There's never a dry moment with her. For sure.
That's awesome. Next, Andrea Duran.
Oh, Dre. So Dre and I actually lived together when we played together on the Pride.
Okay.
And it was Dre, Ashley Charters, Gianna Del Salvatore, and myself who lived together. And we had the best house. We would always have wine night. We all loved
wine night.
Red wine. Yeah. She's such a great teammate. Always had everything on my right side. I actually didn't have to really cover much ground. And whenever I played on the Pride, I don't think that I was even quick enough to cover any ground. It wasn't until I was like in Japan where I learned that I really had to like be quick and move my feet.
Yeah.
So thankfully I had Dre on the right side of me to take care of all of that for me whenever I played for the Pride.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next on the list, I didn't know that you had any history with her, but friend of the show, Erica Piancastelli.
Oh my God, E. Yes. Erica was a teammate of mine in Italy. And so I played in Italy 3 years. The first 2 years I played on a team with a girl that I coached in college. And the third year I played against that team's rival team, which is Pauly, the team that Erica plays on. Her mom actually coached the team last year, helped coach the team last year, and such a great person. She's such a great person. I can't say enough good things about her.
Quite a swing on her, eh?
Such a I was so happy when I was on when I was on her team and not the opposite team.
No doubt.
Because literally whenever I had to face her when I played on the team out of Bolate, whenever I played on that team, I was so scared because of her giant step.
Yeah.
She literally just cranks the bat back and just swings. And I remember many times the ball brushing past the pitcher and being so close to the pitcher. And thankfully I was on her team when this occurred.
Yeah.
But I would have never wanted to be the pitcher throwing against her. And I was so happy whenever we were on the same team. Plus she hit bombs for us. It was we could be like down, 1-0 and runner on base, and she just comes up and randomly hits a bomb like nothing. Like it looks like it's going to be a pop-up. And then, it's way, way over the fence.
Yeah. I mean, I talk about, everybody talks about, how good Ken Griffey Jr.'s swing was in baseball. And I think Erica's is almost a carbon copy of his. It's so good.
Yeah. She is just now, I say just now, but I mean like whenever she first got into the AU league, like making herself known in the States per se, because, she's always really been known in Italy and on the Italian national team. And, was always a huge standout in college. But I think, I don't think people really knew what she was capable of until that first year of AU, and they were like, whoa, like, where'd she come from? Yeah.
For sure.
And I'm like, that's my friend. And I don't have to ever pitch to her again.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. All right. 2 more here.
Okay.
Lauren Lappin.
Oh, Lap was the other foreigner that I played with, on
everywhere.
The first team, everywhere on the first team in Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was my connection to playing on that team. I think they had kind of asked a few other players on our Pride team if they wanted to go over there and pitch, and they all said no. And then they came across my name and I was like, yes, I want to play. I was starstruck with her whenever I first met her, when we were playing together on the Pride. Of course, as I was with the rest of my teammates, because I didn't actually know them as people. I just knew them as the players they were.
Right. Yeah.
Great player. But like even better person.
Yeah.
And hearing her story about how she kind of had to evolve herself to, be more universal as a player in order to get herself on the national team. Really kind of showed me the type of person that she was, and that she would almost do, anything for you or for anybody. And she ended up becoming the person that I would always throw to on the Pride. And we ended up becoming a great pitcher catcher combo. Then when I was released from the Pride to play for the Rebellion, I had no idea until maybe a few days after being released, that she was coming with me as well to the team. They had apparently asked for a really good pitcher catcher combo that would help our team develop and grow in the league. And so the decision from the Pride was to release myself and Lappin. Jen Saling came with us as well. So we had the three of us.
Nice.
Yeah, we had the three of us from the Pride come over. And that was the first year of the rebellion. And we had some other girls who had originally played in the league on different teams in the league come on over. And then us kind of veterans mixed with the college kids. We're supposed to help stabilize, I guess you'd say, the new team.
Right.
But yeah, I love her. She always kept me grounded as a pitcher.
Always
honest.
good. Always great to have a catcher like that.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Yeah. I mean, you talked about,
I'm so interested to know who you're going to say.
The last one. You've already actually touched on her. I was like, oh, you're already talking about her. Lisa Malden.
Malden. Oh my God, Lisa.
Yes.
Oh.
So if you have any other stories, go ahead.
Oh, well, I can't tell you all of the stories about our experiences together, but the coolest thing about our friendship is how we met. And I was playing ball in Italy, and she was playing ball in Hungary. And we both got picked up by a Belgian team to play in the European Cup. And that is how we met. And we connected softball wise and exchanged socials. I'm sure that's how that happened.
Yeah.
And she was at the time, she was trying to get on a team in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And a friend of mine coached the team. And I said, oh, well, let me just reach out to my friend and say, hey, you need to pick Lisa up. And she was like, oh my gosh, you can do that? And I was like, yes, let me try and do that. I didn't know if I could do that or not. I was just like, sure, let me just try. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Yeah.
Thinking like, who the hell am I, right? Well, she must have thought I was God, because I literally reached out to the friend and said exactly that. And the friend contacted her. And within like a couple days, she was on the team she wanted to be on.
Wow. That's awesome.
She had also told me that she was interested in playing in Italy. So after she was done with her season in New Zealand, I was switching teams, and they were asking me if I knew of a good hitter or a utility player. And I was like, well, actually I do. So I was, obviously threw her name in there. I knew she's the type of player that she just wanted to play softball anywhere. Always wanted to be part of the team. Still is like that. Just wanted to learn culture and teach and coach and just be there, you know? Mm-hmm. So, got her with a meeting, come to find out they loved her. So got her with, on the same team with me in Italy. And then, as I said before, we had a mutual friend who we both played with in New Zealand, who is originally from Japan, who originally played for the team that we were trying to play on in Japan. And that girl, I know, right? The connection is so weird. This girl's name is Tomo Goda, and she was our link to playing in Japan together. So she got Lisa on the team, and then Lisa got myself on the team. And I was like, thanks, buddy. You know, like, you returned the favor.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yes. And honestly, all of the people that I've met just playing softball in different countries, we're all the same. We just want to, we want to play on a team, in another country, you know, get used to the culture, learn, grow, meet people, coach, teach. Yep. And if you continue to keep up the friendship and relationship with these people that you meet while you're playing overseas, you can have any connection that you want to have, right. Because everybody is for you. Everybody is cheering for you. They want you to succeed. It's a really great community. The overseas players, we kind of had like a huge group of us at one time where we were all like kind of in the same countries at the same time. And, you know, you just have each other when you're in those foreign countries, but that's enough because you're all there for the same reason. Mm-hmm. And if you wanted to go, you know, to Hungary, you know, Lisa has a connection for Hungary, or if you wanted to go to, Italy, you know, somebody else had the connection for Italy. So there was always an opportunity, and right. there still is. There still is many opportunities. I mean, I have people that I've played for and with from many countries reaching out, asking me, "Hey, do you know of a pitcher? Hey, do you know of a utility player? Like, we need people to come play." Mm-hmm. So always an opportunity. And yeah, Lisa probably is my favorite teammate of all time because we have been able to share so many experiences together. That's
awesome. That's awesome. What a way. That's a fantastic way to end the podcast right there.
Thanks.
Sarah, I gotta thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come on the show. This has been awesome.
Of course. Thank you.
Yes. I mean, all the best, you know, with Pauly Girl Fast Pitch, you and your dad.
Thank you.
Anything else in the future? I'm sure we're going to keep in touch.
Yeah, we will for sure.
Thank
you so much.
It's just another word for getting old with nothing on you now, love. It's just another word for getting old. Yeah, chasing and dragging till I get it, I know it well. We go day in, day out, living this like it's show and tell. Adrenaline pumping, accelerating through these late nights. Addicted to the rush that keeps us up in this insane life. Red lipstick, broken wine glass. Drink away the pain and blackout time lapse. Do it all again, get your lights up. Let them know you well known. A prisoner to our cell phone, that's why we call them cell phones. It's funny, ain't it? Obsessed with success, flying high from sugar cane. Fast food burger chain, can't break the routine. Leg day, filling up on protein and poutine. They say, get it done by all means, we all fiends. Pick your crutch, living in this big world on small screen. Sip your cup and play your odds. Put your dollar in the slot machine, scrub it till the pot is clean. Pick your poison, what's your addiction, huh? It's just another word, yeah. Getting old with nothing on you now, love. It's just another word for getting old with nothing on you. I'm addicted to the drama, addicted to the fame. I'm addicted to the process, addicted to the games. I'm addicted to the drugs, addicted to the love. They say, pick your poison, right? Pick your poison. You never catch a dragon, that's what they say. Sharp and mall surfer, spending every...
Are you downsizing? Maybe need more room because of additions to the family, or possibly seeking that dream home you've always wanted? Well, Tim Eisner at Royal LePage Atlantic is the guy for you. With a proven track record and multiple awards, Tim goes above and beyond to find out your needs and exactly what you're looking for. So if you're seeking a new home or trying to sell your current one, contact Tim at 902-499-5717 or check him out on Facebook at Tim Eisner. Again, that's 902-499-5717. Trust me, when all is said and done, we'll be saying Tim Eisner strikes again.